Yay.
Hello.
Hi, hello. Hi, everybody. Okay, hi. It is Thursday. We are here again with you, and we are ready to go. As you can see, we are still socially distanced. So I am far away from Gabriela. She is in her beautiful library here. But we are still going to be giving you some wonderful information about some very, very cool vintage techniques. I'm Amber. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. And then, of course, and much more excitingly, here's
Hello.
Gabriela.
How are
Hooray!
you?
Yay.
I have some exciting stuff for you today.
Yes, I know. These are really cool. Very interesting pieces we haven't seen before, and yeah, just real little treasures, I think. So let us know where you're watching from because it's always fun to see. I know we have some familiar faces already here, so hello again to all of you guys, and thanks so much. And once again, if you have questions about the vintage items themselves, you can leave those in the comments at any time, and I will give those to Gabriela. Or if you have questions about other things for Gabriela, feel free to ask those too. She's full of all kinds of wonderful information, so it's a great opportunity for that.
All right.
Cool. All right, Gabriela, what is the
The
first
first
piece you
one
have for
is a
us?
really cool one. It's a military hat compact from World War II,
Ooh.
and it's basically this company called Henrietta made these compacts, and they were supposed to be kind of sweetheart compacts. So if you had a husband or boyfriend in the service, you were supposed to, you could remember that person by, supporting them by having the compact from the branch that they were
Yeah.
in. So they made 4 different ones of these. This one, of course, is the Army one. As you can see, it has the little Army emblem on the front, if you can see that.
Oh, cool.
It came in different shades so that you would have the hat for the Navy and Marines, and so it had different colorways. So there was a red and a blue and a white and the red and all of that. So really interesting. So when you open it, this one, the mirror is quite in bad shape, as you can see in here. So the mirror is not in great shape, but has a mirror, and then inside of this part, it has a compartment for loose powder, as you can see in there.
Ah.
So it has the little netting, like you have seen in other compacts.
Yeah.
So basically, when you see this, it means that, see, it's a cavity in there, just an empty cavity, and then you put your powder in there. You put your net, over the top of that to keep it in place, and then you have your puff sitting on top of that. So you could refill it and use it indefinitely. So it's a little keepsake type of thing. Really
Yeah.
cute.
That
Um,
is so cool. I know. I just
yeah,
love
made out of,
how
yeah.
I love the shaped compact. It's so fun, and yet it's still
Oh
got
yeah,
such good wear.
definitely. There's a few of these around. If you want to pick one up, I have seen some of them on the auction sites. So if you are interested in owning one of these, there are some around. I haven't seen the other colors though. The other colors are really hard to come by. So if you happen to see
Oh,
one of the other ones that is white or red brim or blue, they're definitely probably more collectible because there's not a lot of them. All of the ones on sale are usually the Army version. So,
oh,
but quite cute, and I think it's kind of an adorable type of little
it
compact
is.
to
It's just
have,
so cute.
and it was reusable. So you could keep this and definitely refill it and keep
Hmm.
it in your bag and that, and very cute, I thought.
And a lot of the compacts at the time were meant for loose powders to just be
Yes.
kind of easily reusable.
Yes, a lot of them were because if you remember, powder came earlier on. Powder came loose, and it came in containers as large amounts of loose powders. And you would buy this container, larger container of loose powder, and then you would dole it out into your compacts and your other things to be able to wear it. So you would put it,
Yeah.
you would put it in like a crystal bowl or something like that for your vanity area, and then you have a puff on that, and then you would put it in your compacts to take in your bag with you.
Oh, that's lovely.
So you
A
just
little crystal vase of face powder
face
sounds
powder.
so glamorous.
Yes. Yeah, women used to. Yeah, it was a common vanity thing to have like a little vase or a little ceramic container with the lid and then the powder would be stored in that. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Let's see. Elizabeth asked if there was a good site to buy vintage makeup.
Well, eBay has a lot of stuff, but Etsy has a lot of really interesting ones as well, because Etsy has more of a curated selection of things. So Etsy is a good one too for good vintage finds. There are a few like auction sites that are more upscale. One is called Worth Point. If you want to go in there and take a look, it's a bit more expensive vintage items, but they have some lovely things in there if you're interested in collecting something more unique and more valuable. They have jewels and other things in Worth Point. So take a look there and see if you want something special.
Oh. Can I get that address one more time, and I'll just put that in the comments for everybody.
It's called Worth Point.
Great.
So take a look at it and see. They have really beautiful antique perfumes too. If you're interested in antique bottles and antique perfumes, they have a good selection of that too.
Oh, cool.
All right,
beautiful. What is our next compact today?
Our next one is also a refillable piece, but it's a very interesting one because it's a kind of a giveaway compact. So this compact it has a slogan on the front from this company. So that's a really cute kind of Art Deco image on there, and then a saying underneath that says, "When you think of clothes, think of Jack Rose." So
cute.
So and on the back it says, "See Jack Rose Shop."
Yeah.
And it says dresses, coats, millinery, and the address. So this was a promotional compact, basically. So they would give them away to customers, and the way it's made, it's really quite ingenious, because it's made from basically two buttons. So it's made like kind of like you would make a button today, but two different buttons, and then this piece in the middle that's like a metal piece that actually is the compact mechanism inside. So on this side it looks like kind of like a button with a mirror kind of thing, and then on this side there's the part where you put your powder.
That's so cute. And this would just be an empty promotional item.
Yes, and then
they gave out.
And then this spins. You can see this spins. So that you put your powder in here. You put your powder, and then you can spin this closed.
Ooh.
So that your powder wouldn't come out, and you can spin it so that it comes out of these little holes instead.
Yeah, we kind of have that on spice jars sometimes nowadays.
Yes. It's kind of a similar mechanism, but basically, and then it has room to put your puff on top of that. Obviously, you don't hold a lot of powder. This is like, one or two applications. So it's something to have on the road, but it's pretty ingenious as a free gift. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, yeah. I'd be pretty excited to get such a fancy little compact for free.
I know. no. The engineering on this is just really so nice. I mean, it's really really ingenious and really quite well made, for something that they would give out as a promotional item.
Yeah.
So I thought this was really cool. But yeah, you can
I
see
know I
here.
can't imagine going into Forever 21 getting a not a good
No,
example, but
yeah,
getting a nice
no,
free compact.
no. I don't think you would. Not these days.
Not
No,
quite.
not quite. Which is
And
too
when oh
bad.
yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
When is that from
This is
approximately, that one?
approximately 1930s,
Okay.
and it just kind of seals shut. The lid comes on again, so it has a little divot in the lid, so that it kind of like you can close it.
Yeah.
But it's very clever, and I
Oh,
thought it
it's
was
so
really kind of
cute.
neat for promotional
Yes,
things.
absolutely. Um, Great. And so, we had a question from Kristen
Yes,
about your lip color today. Gabrielle's wearing red hot
or red
red
hot red.
today.
Yes, red hot
So
red.
cute.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And then Alex P had a question about the colors of the compacts for the
Yes.
powders. So, like what kind of colors of powder were people using at the time that would go in compacts like these? And Alex, if that's the wrong
Yes.
question, again, please put it in the comments. I'm sorry. But yeah, what kind of powders would go in these compacts at the time?
Well, mainly, they were talc-based powders that were uh, mostly in the pinkish range. So they were
Hmm.
kind of light pink, light flesh tone, pinky kind of tones.
Uh-huh.
Um, that was kind of the preferred, shade for skin. So most powders were made to that color. So a lighter pinkish kind of shades. There weren't any really dark powders. As dark as
Yeah.
the darkest powders were probably a tan color.
Yeah. I think we shared a medium powder one time. It was meant to be like a medium color, and it
Yes,
was like my color. I was
yes,
just like, can't
yes.
imagine what.
Yeah, the light
Uh,
is really, there are some that are like really almost white,
yeah.
almost white with a tiny bit of pink to them. So yeah, the the powders really tended to be really in color. So they weren't heavily colored powders really.
And were they meant to give just to brighten the skin a little bit, but not leave like a full foundation, or be more of a translucent kind of effect?
No, they weren't meant to be translucent. They
Hmm.
they were actually foundation powders,
Yeah.
or what you would think of as a foundation.
Hmm.
They just didn't have the ingredients to stick on the skin. So the way that they put them
Right.
on, they would use the cold cream and apply the cold cream first,
Hmm.
so that the cold cream would leave the skin kind of dewy, and
Uh-huh.
then they would apply the powder over the top of this, so the powder would stick to that cream
Hmm.
and kind of make sort of a foundation type
Yeah.
of type of feel.
Yeah,
So
kind of a
it would
DIY.
stick. Yeah, so it would stick more to the skin.
Oh, neat.
But it was meant to give you kind of a matte uh, uh, coverage type look. So that's why when you see earlier makeup, it does look kind of ghostly and white,
Yeah.
because the powders were rather light like that. And if you did put a lot of it, or put cream and put that on top, it would have really lightened your skin if you weren't actually that color.
Yeah. Interesting. And yes, Colette brings up that Rachel was a popular color. Yes, if you look at
Rachel
these,
was, yes. Rachel was
Rachel's
your
very
like your
popular.
medium. Yeah, Rachel was the equivalent of your medium, kind of.
Hmm. Yeah.
Every line had a Rachel
Hmm.
color, and Rachel came in Rachel blonde, Rachel brunette,
Hmm.
Rachel redhead. All of these different things, which the powder didn't really change that much, but they just named them different things.
Yeah.
But maybe one had a little bit more pink than the other, but they weren't really that much darker or anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Rachel was kind of your flesh tone, like medium flesh tone.
Yeah. Louisa asks if you do have a favorite decade that you like to collect from the most.
I would say the 30s is one of my favorites because of the a lot of the Art Deco influences on all of the things, and the
Yeah.
Egyptian influences.
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
there's so many beautiful things as far as embroidery and use of gold and metallics and all kinds of things. Just beautiful things that came out of the 30s. So I'm rather fond of products made during that period because the quality is very good, and also the craftsmanship and design are really very, very attractive to me from that period.
Yeah. And that's also one of your favorite periods from film as well.
Yes,
I
yes,
always love.
definitely, yes. And in the looks, because they're softer, prettier looks.
They are. It is a very delicate kind of a look. It's not quite as loud as the 20s, but then
Right, right,
not quite as subdued as the rest. Oh,
right.
cool.
And the clothes are just stunningly beautiful from that
Yeah.
from the 30s. Just they excuse me. They skim
Okay.
they skim the body, and they look just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yes, I think Gabriela has a tailored suit that's so pretty that reminds me of those. It's just like so
Yes,
beautifully tailored. Very hard to find nowadays. Things like that.
yes. Oh yeah.
Cool. A couple other questions we had. Yes, the mascara brush set is back
It's
online.
back. Yes,
It is
it is back.
back.
It's back.
Yay.
Yay.
So that's online right now if you've been waiting for that. And thank you for your patience. Things are just taking longer nowadays with
Yes.
everything. So thank you for your patience on that one. Let's see. Elizabeth asked if you're, Elizabeth asked, are you planning on adding any new lipsticks to the classic color line?
Yes, we are. Look for them later on, like this year, in the next coming months. There are some new colors coming in.
And if you want a real treat slash tease, if you watch last week's video with Gabriela, she was actually wearing one of the colors that we'll be adding. So
Yes.
you will get no more information than that. It is a
Yes.
total mystery otherwise. But if you want that little, I don't know if that's exciting or annoying to you, but yeah, if you want to see one of the upcoming colors live, then that is in
Yes.
last week's video. Yay.
Yes.
We also had people saying hello from all over the place: Las Vegas, Washington,
Hello.
Lower Saxony, Germany.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow. That's
Very, very
great.
cool.
That's very, very cool.
So thank you guys and thank you for staying up a little bit late
Yes.
in Germany for sure. Cool. What is another compact we have coming up?
This one is really quite interesting. It's a Richard Hudnut compact, and it's really very heavy. It's all brass, as you can see, with inlaid enamel on the front. But what's interesting about this is that the lipstick kind of sits in between the compact here, so it's held by the two sides of the compact, if you can see that. So it's from around this same period, around 1930s or so. This one, my mirror broke on it, but you can see the rest of it. It has the powder on the bottom here, and then the lipstick kind of comes off. So it just leaves a hole in the middle there. So it's held on just by the two pieces that go together. Like that.
It just fits in just right.
It just
to
fits
keep
in
it there.
just right to keep it in here. Yeah. So, which is kind of really cool, I thought.
Yeah.
And then it has this little thing to hold the thing in place, which is kind of really elegant in there. But then it has your puff, your Richard Hudnut puff there, and then it has the little door here to actually put your powder on the inside. So your powder is actually on the interior of that. So it has a door that actually seals it in there, so it doesn't. And you can see now, you were asking about colors of powder. You can see
Yeah.
this
Oh,
powder. Look at the color on that powder.
Yeah. Not the best match for most people.
No, it's rather pink. It's rather
Not
white and
quite.
pink. Yeah, it's very white and pink, as you can
Yeah.
see.
Oh, that's cool to get to see that.
Yeah, so most powders were this type of color. So, obviously, if you are olive skin and that, this would not have looked very good on you. But this is a lot of the powders were in this kind of color, and they had kind of a floral scent. All of the powders had
Oh.
like a
Ooh,
floral scent. Woo-wee.
you can see the powder.
Powder
Still going
uh,
everywhere.
still going, yeah. And then it has a lipstick in here. And the thing about this lipstick that's kind of neat is that this lipstick is American Beauty. As you can see on the
Oh,
bottom here, it is American Beauty.
oh my gosh. That's so cool.
So if you see that, that's the color right there.
Wow.
It doesn't actually come out too much, but you can see it some right here.
Sure.
But that's the color that we made that is now American Beauty. So this is the same lipstick.
That's so great. Yep, to see where it came from.
This is where it came
Quite
from.
literally.
This
Wow.
is exactly where it came from.
Ah,
So this container is really quite interesting too, because it's so faceted. You can see all the facets on the container, and it's faceted all the way around, which is really hard to do, to facet it and then also have it fit together correctly.
yeah.
And this is all made out of brass too.
And what were the
So
other compacts made from if they weren't made from such a heavy metal? What do you
as
think?
well, this inexpensive one that is a gift to you is a tin
Oh,
compact.
okay.
This one is cellulose, so it's an
Oh,
early form of plastics.
okay.
So you had a couple of materials that they could have been made of. Silver was used on nicer compacts,
Yeah.
but brass was very commonly used on a lot of the compacts. Brass
Yeah.
was one of the most common things to use. But this is still spins after all these years, which is kind of really
Wow.
amazing, and it fits together really well too. But the fun thing is that it goes in there. Actually, this compact, I think inspired. If you saw the new compacts that, I don't know if they still have them, but a few years ago they did. Mary Kay made a compact that kind
Oh,
of did a similar thing to this. Not brass like this one, but it's a plastic one. But it's using the same idea of mechanism. So I think they might have gotten inspiration from this Richard Hudnut one,
yeah.
which is
Now,
really cool.
you might not have an answer to this, but why do you think there was such ingenuity in the packaging and design of these compacts? Like they could have just made an open and close mirror,
Well,
like we have, but they're so intricate
well,
and pleasing.
well, because you have to remember that when makeup was introduced here, number one, it was more a luxury item. So
Yeah.
it was more expensive to purchase these things. You had to get people with money to buy them,
Yeah.
So you would want to make them as much as like a jewelry thing as possible, so that those people would be attracted to this product.
Right.
Also, makeup was also very young in the States, and they wanted, again, more people to want to wear it.
Hmm.
So making the cases and the things more attractive made maybe those items be more attractive to purchase and to
Right.
want to own. So it was really kind of a marketing strategy, as well as, as what the industry kind of did at the beginning, to make makeup as attractive to the higher end of society first, so that then they would kind of inspire other people to also purchase these products,
Yeah.
even if they purchase cheaper alternatives, but they would still be purchasing those products, because they would, since they were kind of influencers of the time, let's say,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, they would influence other people to want to also wear these things. That was one of the things. If people that were influential and would go out and be seen with these things, then you know, other people would covet them as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. Thank you. I hope that was interesting. Also, I just think it's so, they love that these are such like marvels of engineering in a way, you know,
I
all of these
know
little
they are.
compacts.
They are really, really. I mean, it would be really, really difficult to make these compacts today. Really, really
Yeah.
would be because of the intricacy of it, the machinery required, and the amount of handwork that's required to make them too.
Yeah. Mary Wilson had a question of what's the closest color we have to the Snow White red that we had in the limited edition?
Well, Snow White Red it's its own thing.
Yeah.
So we don't have a color that really looks exactly like that one. Yeah, I can't really tell you that there's another one that looks exactly like Snow White Red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you,
I'm not sure. You know, Forever Red is kind of in the same vein, but it's a little darker.
sure.
Yeah.
And something you can do too, if you want, Mary, you can always send something to
Yes.
info@besamecosmetics.com or direct message us at Besame Cosmetics and just send a
Yeah.
selfie of yourself, especially in natural light. And if you have
Mm-hmm.
questions about you want a bright red or a darker red or match, you know, just what matches you, then we will
Mm-hmm.
happily do that and match you with something, a new one, maybe a new favorite red that you can
Yes.
love. But yeah, that's open and not just to Mary. Anybody can do that. So do
Yes.
that at any time you guys want when you have questions about any of the makeup and matching it to your specific coloring. Yay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. What else do we have? I think we have one more piece,
Yeah,
right?
we have one more piece, and this
Yay.
one is kind of like almost like flying saucer-ish kind of looking. It's
Yeah.
kind of long.
Oh,
It's a very
yeah.
long. So it's, the shape of it is so interesting, and it's got this kind of like marbling on the top and the bottom. So
Right.
all of it is kind of has this marble type acrylic type material, which
Okay.
is kind of similar to a Bakelite, but not really. It's similar type of plastic. And when you open it, it's got a long mirror, you know, so the mirror kind of is the same width, but it also has two compartments. And if you notice, like the detail on the metal in the interior here, see how it's all engraved into little tiny
Yeah.
things. So they kind of like did this all pattern over all of the
All
metal.
over it.
And it has two compartments, as you can see here. So you had a blush compartment on the top.
That's pretty.
Yeah, so it has a blush. And then on the bottom, you had your powder container. So you could put your powder on the base here. So you had your powder and then your blush.
I love that all of these have these secret compartments and
Yeah, but look
it
at how
just,
thin this is.
yeah,
You know,
it's
it's a
so
little
thin.
tiny, thin little door here with a tiny little hinge. That again, engineering-wise, this is very difficult to make something like this delicate.
Yeah.
You know, that would actually perform over and over again and not break. But both of these pieces have little hinges on them, and they close. They click close, and then there's a click mechanism to close the compact itself. So very, very interesting piece, interesting shape too.
So it's a metal piece that then has that acrylic
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes. So they made the metal part with the frame and everything, and then they put these pieces on top of it.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's cool.
Because when you open this, you can see the plastic piece inside
Oh,
of the
right.
thing there. So it's kind
Wow.
of like a frame, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Very,
And when
very,
is
very well made, this.
when is that one from? Like
It's from the
approximately?
30s as well.
Oh,
It's
also,
from
okay.
30s.
Gosh.
Really interesting though, the amount of work on a compact like this. It's just
Yeah.
incredible. You would have probably put your puff in here, and then your loose powder in that container. But then you had your little blush in here that you could use. Some of these carried other things in here, and they even sold refills for
Oh,
these little tiny things. So you could
wow.
refill your blush pan in there, and they
Hmm.
even sold lipstick in there as well, like a rouge,
Oh,
in
wow. A
here, like
little
a cream,
pan of,
a
wow.
pan of cream rouge, yeah, that you could use for your lips as
Yeah.
well. So you could change it out and use it as the lipstick with your brush, because lipstick was applied with the brush most of the time. So you would apply it
Yeah.
with the brush, or you could uh, put another blush one in there as a powder, as this one is. And the color is really pinky. All the blushes
Yeah.
were rather pinky, as you can see here. If I try to swatch this, I don't know if I get a lot, but there you go. Ooh, very pink.
Yeah, it's so bright. You kind of,
Very bright and pink, yeah.
I think it's easy to, because we just see so many black and white pictures. We get it wasn't a
Oh,
black and
yeah.
white back then, but the
No,
colors were
no,
just
no.
so much more vivid than
It
you
very
might
vivid,
think.
very bright. Look, if I try to put it on my hand here, you can see it's very, very bright.
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive that that's still
Oh
gets me
yeah, no, it
swatched pretty
still works. It
good.
still works.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Oh,
The pigments were really strong, so
yeah.
they would still work. Again, I don't recommend you using this products,
No.
but you can see the colors. The colors are bright and they still work just as well as they worked before. Uh, but really, really interesting pieces. If you like collecting compacts, there's so many out there, and all of them are very unique because each company kind of tried to establish themselves um, uh, by having very unique different types of compacts, so that those compacts would be kind of a marker of their brand.
Yeah.
So each brand tried to kind of make very unique shapes and compacts, so that the customers would tell them apart and would want their design instead of
Yeah.
another design. So a lot of creativity in the compact range, especially during the 30s. The 40s, not as much, because remember you had a lot of issues because of the war, so there was a lot of shortages, so you don't have as many fancy compacts as you did
Yeah.
before. But in the 30s, you have quite a bit of them. And then again, in the 50s, you have a ton of them, of different types of compacts. But at that point, you have different materials because more plastics came in. So there was a lot more use of other plastics and other materials. So the type of manufacturing is a little bit different in the 50s than it was in the 30s. So these like really sturdy, kind of heavier compacts are really a bit earlier in time. As you get into the 50s, you start seeing more kind of industrialized methods of
Yeah.
production, which led to different types of compacts, different types of hinges that were, less expensive to make and easier to cast.
Hmm.
So different kind of hinges, and so this kind of handmade type of thing kind of slowly started to diminish.
Yeah. Neat. Those are so pretty. We did have some
Yes.
questions
Yes.
about lipstick colors that people are
Mhm.
curious about Tango Red
Sure.
and Merlot, if those will ever be coming back to the Besame site.
We might. It's just a matter of when they're placed into production. Right now, I don't have them in the production lineup, but we can bring them back. Yes, it's just we have, again, so much stuff that is been delayed and still has to be released. So we're trying to catch up with all of the new products that are still in our pipeline, and then we'll take a look again at colors that you guys want. But if you are wanting a specific color, please let us know so that we know how many people are really interested in that shade, and then we can let you know as soon as it comes comes online again.
Yeah, and you can send that just to that info@besamecosmetics.com address. And then they put you on a list, literally put you on a list of to be the first informed of when that comes back. So that's always a good thing. And again, things are a lot more delayed than usual with,
Yes.
everything going on. But yeah, they aren't necessarily colors that will be gone forever. We also had a mention of our lipstick trio having someone mentioned it has portrait peach in it in the comments, and it has portrait pink. So it is
Yes.
still a great trio to try out three
Yes.
of our most varied colors. I highly recommend that. But I just wanted to make sure you don't get it for portrait peach because that's another one that could come back in the future. We just want to see and want to make sure you get fresh and good ones when they are ready. Yay.
Yes.
Cool. Let me see. If you have any other questions, please let us know. Next week, we are going to be back with more business and entrepreneurial advice because last time, we filled an hour, I think, easily,
Yeah.
Gabriela.
Yes.
Because obviously, Gabriela has been doing this for years. She has so much experience and in many different fields, including makeup, obviously. So please come with any questions you have about starting your own business, being an entrepreneur, anything like that. It doesn't even have to do with makeup specifically, though, you totally can have that, of
Yeah.
course. So tune in next week, next Thursday at 1 for that. And if you have any suggestions of specific things you would like Gabrielle to cover, whether it's other vintage makeup pieces or something else entirely, please let us know. Gabriella, again, kind of knows everything about everything. So
Not quite, but
she
always
might not
learning, but
agree.
not quite.
But if there's any stuff like that you want to know or anything else you want to know from Gabriella or a topic you'd like her to cover, then please leave that in the comments as well. Yay, I want to just check to make sure we don't have any new questions. Excellent. Yay. Cool. Sarah's very excited for more business stuff. Yay, Sarah. You had lots of great questions before, and I'm sure you will again.
Awesome.
Cool. So thank you so much, Gabriella. Those were beautiful pieces from the 30s
Thank
and
you.
40s. So gorgeous. And thank you all for watching. It's been another wonderful Thursday, and we will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.